all organised, all sorted, and then suddenly, no, because that would be too easy. Right, let's get rid of that. So I don't care about that. That should now be working. Are we working now? Are we back in the room? Are we functional? Dear me, you've got to love that. Because that's going to mess up all. See, this is the thing. That's going to create a new stream, which means that all of the links that I've just put out to the world, wrong, instantly. This is not my happy face. So I reckon if I go on here, there'll be a new one, won't there? 4 minutes of me mucking around. All right, delete that. Hold your horses, kids. I'll be right there. My goodness. This is every time that I get organised and I'm totally on top of everything, this always happens. It is like freaking clockwork. It's quite impressive. Right, let's get that, replace that with that, and then post that. That's better. My goodness. How is everybody anyway? How are we all? Are you well? What's going on with you? Well, I'm just over here having a medium-sized breakdown, relaunching everything that I'd already... I'm not stressed, you're stressed. Whee! Right, that should work. Hey, look good. Good evening. How are you, young person? People will search for it, of course. Well, one would hope so, but am I really that important? Well, yes, I am. But, you know, they might not. So... and where else? I don't even remember where I put it. That's the problem. I do remember where I put it. There. And this. And that. And get rid of that. And post that. Do the thing. Good boy. Right, I think I'm nearly in the room now. A bit damp after walking back from the gym in the rain, but I'm now working on a podcast script for my day's quantum of productivity. Nice. We do have, I expect we do indeed have sound, which is clearly better. Clearly. Right, poke that, and that should refresh, and there we go. Hey, problems. Good evening. Evening. What I really need to do is sit down and get all of the chats in one place. I lack the organisation for that. Also to get more done on some entries for the Miniature Painting Open and Fen Model Spec Shop competitions. They're weird. Why are they weird? Why are they weird? And I hope you're doing your writing as well. I hope you've hit your word count today. Watching you. Proxy accountability partner right there. And still not 100%. Right. So how's everybody been? What's been the latest with all of you? What have you been up to? Oh, my goodness. It's good. It's good. It's been a while. I think I've missed a couple of Mondays. I have missed a couple of Mondays. It's been terrible. I do apologise for that. But, hey, birthday. There we go. That's it. There we go. That was my entire birthday celebration. I know it's been very sad, Blissful Badger. I've missed it, but it was like 100. Oh, hey Blob, thank you. That is an entrance and a half, just clogception and me. The entries are weird. One of them is a massive submarine model. I didn't know how big it would be when I bought it. That is opening up in a huge mouth. Lots of epoxy scuff. Dear Lord, yes. Party time. Whoop whoop. This is it. Although I'm at that age now, I've been at that age for a long time, where it's kind of like, yay, birthdays. Mrs. Hydra is kind of like, what do you want to do for your birthday? Sleep. That's kind of where we are. But that's fine. That is fine. Hang on. What's that? What's that? Sorry, that was somebody I'm not supposed to talk to posting stuff. Happy birthday. Thank you, Remy. That's very kind. Very kind indeed. The day itself was on Friday. when I had a big video that was due out Friday evening, and so I decided on Friday morning that actually I was going to do something I don't tend to do, which was give myself a day off without being sick. Normally that's the only time that I actually take time out, and I'm an idiot for working on weekends as well, as Mrs. Hydra will tell you. In fact, I did that on Sunday. She had to go and see her parents, she took the kids with her, and I was like, haha, a couple of hours. So anyway, so Friday I had the day off, which was novel, and it was quite exciting. I sort of, what did I do? I built a load of, just for a change, and you will find this very strange, I built a load of Eldfor miniatures, and watched June, the first June movie. You again. I was just a happy little mammal, to be honest with you. I was just kind of chilling, and yeah. Hey, Kaz, thank you very much, buddy. Thank you very much. It's very, very kind. Yeah, so I just had a really chill day and built a lot of miniatures, which at some point someone's got to paint. It's probably me. So yeah, that's good. And did a lot of sort of pondering, staring to the middle distance, thinking about the future and the past, and enjoying this. I don't know, this has been around a little bit, but I won this in the competition. How freaking cool is that? I've got to say, that is very, very cool. I'm massively in love with this guy. And hopefully at some point, we're going to be doing some Star Wars Legion. So this is going to work really, really well. But yeah, I should do streams with this. It improves the view no end. The Sting version, it wasn't 1983, it was late 90s, late 80s, early 90s, because it was for a Lethal Weapon movie, Lethal Weapon 3, I want to say. Yeah, I remember that song. Don't drop it like you're dropping something nuanced. I'm old so I'm like, oh yeah, I was there. I remember that. Happy birthday, finally got chat tonight. Well, bravo. Congratulations on mastering the internet, multiverse. Outstanding work. Strange Attractor, happy Monday. Happy Monday indeed, Strange Attractor. I've told you, I fed back to you what Savo said, so I'm waiting on that to come to me. Because he needs to send some others. In fact, he needs to send more stuff to me. Because ironically, you had some issues, and then somebody else was talking about having pack issues from Eldfor, and I was like, I've never had that issue whatsoever. And I got a box for my birthday, and I was like, well, that's not supposed to be in there. So I'm waiting for stuff for myself. But, right, I need to find out when... Probably. When did that launch? 1992, early 90s. Told you, late 80s, early 90s. I was there. I was a fully fledged Hydra by that point. So. I'm talking about June. Oh, okay. Oh, right. So I don't know. No, the new version, the Denis Villeneuve version. I love that film. I have a lot of massive. Oh, jeez, one man crowd. Thank you very much. Wow, that's very kind. And then we have lots of people that have just. Thank you. Wow, wow. Thank you very much. That's incredibly kind, buddy. That's awesome. Thank you. That's how you do it. How old is the Hydra now? How old do you think I am, Kaz? If you listen closely, you can hear me delicately swinging the band hammer at the back of my mind. Just slowly twirling that around. But yeah, no, hey, Mal Winters, dude. I honestly think if you ever don't turn up to a stream on Twitch, I will be genuinely shocked and vaguely concerned that I've in some way disappointed you. And I'll just feel a bit sad. So there's that. So don't do that. You always have to be here. Once you reach a certain point, you must say 42. Yeah. That's incredibly kind. Thank you very much, One Man Crowd. That is very kind. Thank you so much. That is very cool. I recall you're younger than me, but you said it as well, so I'm thinking 36. Huh. New. Dude, I am not younger than you. Hang on, how old are you? Kaz? Kazzy McGasson? I don't. Yeah. No, Mal. I'm not. I'm not accepting that you'll do your best. If you don't turn up within 10 minutes of me streaming, I'm just gonna knock it out and be like, nope, nope. Clearly, it's a bad. Those were all priests. Dear God, man, thank you. That's incredibly kind. Wow. Wall to wall, the congregation has just swelled by 5 instantly. That's awesome. Thank you so much, buddy. That's very kind. And you're not even a member. And even letting other people. That's awesome. That's very kind. Thank you very much. Yeah, birthdays are great. Kaz is 38. You're 38. Oh, you younger than me, Poppet. You younger than me. Well, yeah. No, to answer your question, Kaz, because it just gets tedious after a point. I'm 46. I just turned 46, which was just kind of like. And the thing that depresses me the most is my sister turns 50 this year. She's 40 years older than me. So then you get like the whole, oh, you're turning 50. Oh, that's me in 4 years. Yeah. Ah, okay, you're on Patreon. Ah, okay, yep. It just doesn't show up. It's one of. I wish there was a way to like smush it all together, because then I'd know. But that's awesome. Thank you very much, dude. Also, thank you for supporting my stream, Hydra. I made it to affiliate at the end of the month. Hey! No problems. I was happy to support you, buddy. I do sleep, but oh, good to know. Good to know. Yeah, no, I do sleep. It's just so I have this really, really frustrating problem, and I've had it all of my life that I can recall. I hate mornings, as in I struggle to function as a human being, which with kids I can kind of, there's a degree of sort of dad autopilot I can go on, so I am fully functional with my children. But with the outside world, I'm not great. And with like work stuff, I'm not. It's just, I'm like a blunt, dear God, Kaz. What the dude? Thank you. Dude. That you didn't, wow. Mate. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Kaz. What did you do that for? Blimey. Guys. That's very generous. My goodness. Wow. Oh, that's thrown me out. That's very kind, mate. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay. 46, same age as my dad. Oh, Ice Bear Manir. I just, dude. I would refer you, young gentlemen, to the fact that we have a tournament coming up and I will be your TO. There is a degree to which your comedy and your accurate lifetime observations just get a bit bold. You just get a bit, you know, they do. Oh dear. You should do his birthday business more often. I really should. Only once a year? What am I doing? Clearly an error. I prefer to say that I'm old enough to be thinking about getting some pony links. I'm not. Nothing about those tickle my pickle. Like, Second World War, I can totally get into that. But when it goes past there, I'm just like, no, I don't. No, none of it. It's just complete shutdown. Because he's a good person, appreciate it. Remy, that's very kind. That's very kind. I try. I do try. It's tough. No. That's, yeah, you don't have to. It's appreciated. It's massively appreciated. There's a lot going on, and that will help. So thank you. Happy birthday, old boy. Thank you. That's a yay and a yeah. Thanks. Appreciate that. Oh boy. I saw somebody the other day who was younger than me, and in conversation said, you know, now that I'm sort of becoming a mature man, I'm like, sorry? Oh, damn, you weren't joking. Wow. I am a mature man. That feels... I'm not. That's not happening. That's not happening. I spent most of a day running around with this on my head in my house because I was like, when this turned up. It was properly like, I knew it was coming, the doorbell went, and I was like, go! Just total child. Excuse me. Still enjoying the game over the weekend we had. Need more Eld 4 in life. Yes, yes. I'm going to talk about that game in a minute, actually. We're going to discuss that, because that was fun, probably. That was a fun game. And just, every reason I love Eldfall was in that game. Let's put it that way. Do other countries give military discounts on like everything, or is that unique to imperial powers? I didn't really see it much in the UK. When I lived in the UK, that wasn't really a thing. There were points where certain things did, and the more that, I mean, let's just toss this hand grenade in there like my name's Mike. But as the sort of rise of that sort of patriotic nationalist view came with Brexit, there became more organisations that were doing that, because we need to support our boys by giving them 10p off of a cup of coffee. I mean, yeah, but also, so yeah. Remember, gamers don't get old, we level up. Yeah. But isn't that supposed to come with like attribute buffs and skills? I got stuff falling off over here, and frankly, stuff I used to know is now gone. So it's sort of not working. But I like the theory, it's good. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. I see goodies in the back. Yeah. I'm now at a point where I can do an Eldfall wall. How cool is that? I had like a little Eldfall sort of vague pile. We got, there's much to discuss with Eldfall, because there's some stuff, there's going to be a video going out about Eldfall on the channel very soon. I talked about it last Thursday and I haven't had a chance to do it because then Friday happened, it was my birthday, I was like, hey, I'm not working today. We'll do that very quickly now, actually. I don't know how many people are on. I don't know how many people are here. My goodness. As soon as we get to double figures, I'm like, I don't know what you're all doing here, but thank you. So, my local community knows this, and I let you guys know as well, because I think it's important. You'll be 44 in 2 months. I wouldn't have thought, just from the way that you talk and the way that you know, the way that some people conduct themselves, you're like, if you're 25, I'm in shock. That's how you come across, my dude. 44. Doesn't that creep up on you? Anywho, you get a little bit of preamble and then a bit of news, which is very exciting, and then a little bit of follow-up to that, and then we're going to move on to more interesting stuff. But so I think that it's important, integrity is important with what I do, because what I'm trying to do is talk about things that I love and things that I believe in and things that I think you should, if you enjoy the same sort of things as me, you should look at, and maybe you should spend your time and your money on. And that the nature of things like YouTube causes an inherent tension with that, because like there is a drive from a surprising number of areas inside of what I'm doing here, because I'm trying to do this full time, and we get into that sort of territory now, which is great. But there's a lot of tension that comes from different sources, from people who want to sponsor you, from people that supply stuff to you to produce content. I don't view what I do as creating content because it's not that professional, and I don't want it to be that professional. That is a choice. You know, I hate, and that is a really softened version of how I actually feel. There are bad words associated with this, but I hate content that is like, in this video we're going to teach you the 5 ways you can upgrade your game to win more, and you won't believe the last one. It makes me want to rip my eyeballs out and stuff them in my ears so I can neither hear nor see it ever again. Drives me wild. And there is that kind of tension to go down that route, and you know, you get companies, I have had companies approach me with piles of cash. I go, promote our product and you can have this pile of cash. And 100% of them have either been ignored or been told to do one if they've not got the message by being ignored. Recently had a generative AI company who said, we're really great for gamers. Number 4 will shock you. Exactly, Nuclear Kid. It won't. I'll listen to it and go, I know. Why? I'm fine. Anyway, so there is this kind of tension that drives you to do that. And the truth of the matter is, if you do, you go further, faster, quicker. In our own sector, tier lists. Tier listing like a S of a B. It's the short route to the big time. There's no two ways about that. If you create tier lists, then you get eyes on, you get comments, you get discussions, you get shares, you get engagement, you get follows, all this kind of stuff. Now you need to know what number 4 is. It's obvious. If I have to tell you what number 4 is, One Man Crowd, I mean, I'll put it on Patreon, you're there, so I'll tell you what number 4 is. Yeah, the ones I hate are where the video's title tells you you're stupid. You're dry brushing Ron, you massive idiot. This is it. Like, I've produced some videos that kind of the 5 common things that newbies do. I produced that off the back of being at a tournament with a whole bunch of newbies and going, you're all doing the same stuff. Okay. And I talked to all of them, or many of them, about it. And the upshot was they all went, oh. And seeing that penny drop, seeing that moment where they were like, yeah, no. I'm like, okay, cool. That's something I can talk to you guys about, because clearly when you're a veteran in the system, you have a degree of things that you're like, well, that's obvious. You just don't think about it. And then somebody comes along and goes, and you're like, ooh, yeah, no, fair one. I hadn't thought about that. You know? I still need to do it. Do. Who are we hating on today? I'm doing this massive preamble to some great news. We can hate on how boring the Super Bowl was. Do you know what? Back in the day, in the early 90s-ish, my parents used to go out every Monday night. And on Monday night, we used to get a TV show on one of the channels in the UK that showed American football. And I got into it. And I was a huge fan of the Miami Dolphins, Dan Marino, that era. And I was a huge fan. Many years this went on. And then I sort of disconnected and never got back. I got into rugby, same shaped ball. Oh, sorry, better game. And I never went back. So yeah, I didn't. I saw all the stuff about Bad Bunny with the right people losing their minds, and yeah, that was glorious. But apart from that, whatever. So it was boring. But the right guys won. It was a defensive game. I heard, actually, lots of defense. Yeah. So the point being, you have all these tensions on you, these pressures on you to create stuff that people want you to create, that people want you to push out into the world. And if you do that, you will earn more, you will get more reach, and you'll get more engagement, all this kind of stuff. You will get more followers. My growth is very, very healthy. I'm really happy with it. Mostly because the people that I'm growing with are the people that I would want to grow with. It is not 500 people a day. It's not even 500 people a month. But the people that come, they become members, they join, they engage with the community that I'm building here, with, so far, without exception, are the people that I want to be talking to, because we view the world in the same way, and I can help and support them, and you guys help and support me. I learn things from you, I get inspiration, I get ideas from you. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that exchange. But I love the Dolphins too. There's the only stadium I've been to as well. I went to the WrestleMania there. Awesome. Nuclear Kids, we're like, you're like my spirit animal. It's amazing. It wasn't defensive. It was ineptitude. Rugby is just not my jam. Sorry. That's cool. It's all good. I'm not. I don't get that whole tribalism of sport. My sport is the. What do you mean you don't like it? I guess it's because I grew up in a country where football/soccer is a religion for some people, and so you get there are generally people who will come in and be like, "Aha, you're male. Therefore, did you see the game on Saturday?" No, I would rather gouge my eyes out with a rusty spoon. That sounds a terrible way to spend my time. I have no interest in that whatsoever. Dear God, why? What's wrong with you? Do you not like your family? Is that what you're saying? You'd rather go and stand around a booth straight, cold place, rain, cold, horrible, 22 men, ball, running around. Do you hate your family that much? I don't know. So I think that bred out of me the whole, people should love what they love. And if you love it, that's awesome. And I applaud you for loving it. I mean, I totally get it with American football. There's a lot that goes on. It's not the quickest thing in the world. But the moments where it all kicks off and the plays go well and all the rest of it, it's really cool. It is really exciting. So, excuse me. Yeah, great sport. A few games end up being... Yeah, no, I get that. I can get that. What position did you play, Jindy? I can see that, actually. I can see that you would... That's the thing that I totally get. Anyway, I got to ignore chat for a minute so I can get this point out. So there is all this pressure for you to behave in a certain way and produce stuff, and I'm just not doing it. I think that I want to talk to you guys, the ones that are here. I never planned to get that 100,000 like silver plus play symbol. I don't plan to ever to be a thing that happens. Because I don't think I'll ever have that reach. I don't think I'd ever want that reach. I think that's too many people. I'm being too scattershot then. I want to talk to my people, not every people. So to do that, I'm determined to keep my own integrity. I'm determined to only do what I believe in, which is why there's certain things that happen on the channel, which you guys won't have noticed. There's certain things that drop off and they come back, and it depends on what the company's doing with them. So Warcrow is about to make a big reappearance. So, you know. But that dips off occasionally because if Corvus Brady bring out a whole load of stuff that's SEOcast, I can't tell you I'd buy it because it's crap. Brutal from the hip. While Corvus Belly produce miniatures for Warcrow that are SEOcast, every time they do that, I'm like, I'll talk to you about the profiles. We'll have that conversation, but I'm not going to sit here and go, you should absolutely buy into this game, because I don't think that. I do not think that. There's some stuff that we've been told that's coming up about that system where that may finally be the case, where I can actually turn around and go, oh thank God, right, yes, finally. You know, the world is there, the passion is there, the system is there, the crew behind it is awesome, and the company that manufactures it actually gives a damn now, so they're going to give you a product that's worth your money. But I try and keep that integrity in place. So, with that in mind, it is necessary for me to let you guys know some stuff. Ignoring chat. So, I've been doing a lot on Eldfall recently. And I did the really interesting interview with Giga, the CEO of Free Company who make Eldfall. I did that a month ago. Something like that. But during that conversation, he and I got into... Normally I'll allow kind of like 90 minutes to 2 hours for an interview, because you have like 30 minutes beforehand, if you've not met these people before, where you just have a bit of a, who are you? What's our vibe like? What are you like as a person? And I ended up spending about 3.5 hours on a call with him. And it turned out that what they're doing and where they are as a business, what I do in my day job is exactly what they need. So content strategy, content development, all this kind of stuff. So I'm now actually contracted with Free Company and will be working with them for the next few months, probably, to start producing stuff and changing the direction of their marketing and focusing that down and just tightening things up and all this kind of stuff. So there's a lot of work ahead of me. Now, I'm doing that because I love the game. I don't love the game because they're paying me. And it's an important thing. It's an important thing to be very clear on. So, hang on a sec. That's the same religion in the US. I played football for 11 years of my life growing up, still love it. So I guess we're going hard to Blood Bowl. No, we're not going to play Blood Bowl. I used to. The best part was sharing issues with seriocasters being completely transparent. That's absolutely true, Gene Dean, but it's one of those things that I am so frustrated with seriocasters. I'm going to come back to that. It is pretty cool, Nuclear. It is, in fact, freaking cool. I finally got to watch that full interview. Really made me appreciate the universe of Eldfall more than ever. Eagerly awaiting the dungeon crawler. Just there. And I hope it's more simple game. Yeah, to be honest with you. Congrats on the free company work. That's awesome to hear. Living your dream. Do you, Home Slice? I will do. Oh wow, that's super cool. Thank you guys. It is really cool and it is really awesome, but I want to be upfront with you guys. What? Hang on. Twitch, the moment I come to your channel, I see a McDonald's ad. That's nothing to do with me. The fact you made, let's say now you want to get a McDonald's, Sergeant, and I want one too. So now we're both in the same boat, and neither of us are getting it. Ingest the burg. True. So yeah, so it is really cool, and I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited to be working with them because I think they are a really great crew, and they're bringing out a really great product. There's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of sort of enthusiasm and passion behind it, which is I live for that stuff. I absolutely live for that. People making something they care about and helping them do that. And there's other areas that I want to work with them on, and that'll all come out. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. It's all going to be very excited. It's very exciting. So, but I want to be upfront with you guys because that I don't want you guys to hear about it and feel that what I'm producing is biased. That makes sense. You know, we have the Arcanum, the series of playing Eldfall Chronicles, learning to play that. They've sent me a load of stuff before this even got discussed, really, me working with them properly. So we've got Northern Wind over here, so we're going to do a review on that. I've already started up the unboxing and stuff for that. The Imperial Banner, I've got some more stuff to do with that. We've got the Goblins down here as well. I've got the stuff to do with that. So I've got a load of stuff for Eldfall that was all in place and all planned ahead of me starting to work with them. And I just don't want you guys to think that I'm selling my soul effectively. So what will it mean for the channel? It might slightly slow production. I might get back to 1 or 2 videos a week rather than 3, 4 or 5 as has been. I did 11 videos in 14 days at one point, which was a lot. So I may slow that slightly, but it's still going to be multiple a week because I've got too many in the to-do pile to stop. But Infinity is still going to be a focus. There's still a lot to say about Warcry, I think, with the thing I'm not allowed to talk about yet coming up. That's going to be a big pushing off point, so I'm really excited to see that for Warcry. We have stuff coming with Flames of War as well, so that's going to be coming too. More bolt action stuff. Thank you for following Dallinair on Twitch. Appreciate you. Thank you. Hey, Vincent. Hello. I can bring you something from restaurant De Bogen. Where is that? I don't know where that is. Is that a Chinese restaurant near to you, Machine? Gene Dean, if knowing you helps me get the Thenian 2 player, yeah. Of course it does. You wouldn't know about it if it wasn't for me. Clearly. But no, we've got some stuff. There's some stuff I want to do on the channel with Eldfall, because I said in December last year that I wanted to make this the year of Eldfall for me personally and for the channel, and the more that I've dug into it and the more that I've done with it, the more it's kind of been like, yeah, I really want to. There's a joy to it. Golden arches. I just got XCOM'd. Failed at 96%. Ouch, Ice Bear Veneer, you failed at 96%. Oh! No, don't bring me anything from McDonald's. Thank you very much. I've just realised. Yes, I got you. Excuse me. Remy, so what is the issue with Seercast? Do I have any here? I think I have put all my Seercast away for the time being. I am surrounded. I'm beset on all sides by a mass of, dear God, by a lot of Unical. Excuse me one second, because I'm just going to explode. There we go. So what's the issue with Seercast? The problem that I have with Seercast is there are two main issues that I have. In reverse order. No, do it in the straight order, it makes more sense. The details on Seercast can be soft. It's a pain in the ass to work with because you can't use, like, I use metal files on Unical. I use metal files on metal. But you can't use that on Seercast because Seercast goes, no, it's not going to work. It kind of spools up and like just becomes a strip of yuck. So you have to get a very sharp blade and take it off very, very carefully. And then you need some very fine sandpaper. You need to work that in. It's just a ball ache. The material itself is very brittle. It's incredibly brittle. I had a Seercast miniature for Infinity, so exactly the same stuff they use for Warcrow. I had it drop 30 centimeters, and we are talking about currently Warcrow, but we are also talking about Eldfall Chronicles and Northern Wind, which is Dungeon Corner for it, which is over there. More about that in a minute, and lots of Infinity too, and probably some bow action and probably some Flames of War because I can't stay on topic. You know. Isn't the Mechazoid... No, Mechazoid is Unical. What is the ship material to? It's a ship material. Hey, Vince. Hello, gorgeous. How you doing? Victor from a recent tournament. Close files work okay on Seercast. Not great, but okay. That's the problem, Strange Attractor. Everything with Seercast is just a bit meh. It is brittle, it is unreliable, it is soft, the detailing is not where it should be. When you look at a Unicorn miniature, it is crisp, it is absolutely on point. And you'll find out what number 4 is. I will tell you what number 4 is. But you've got to stay to the end of the video. So the problem is it's such an inconvenient material to work with, and so substandard frequently. And Corvus Bellies has an issue with their quality control. So I've seen some absolute dogs go out that never should have left the building, like bits missing, holes, all this kind of stuff. And you're just like, and you know, if it's that brittle, I thought you said Warcrow at first. No, Warcrow from Corvus Belli. So fantasy 20-25 miniature pseudo skirmish war game. If you can't bounce a miniature without it breaking, it's not fit for purpose. I'm sorry, it's not. Wargaming is played predominantly outside of your house. You can't trust the environment. People are going to pick them up, they're going to drop them, this happens, you're going to play, blah, 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 blah. You have to have a degree of give in it. It has to be okay with a degree of handling. And Seercast just isn't. To be honest with you. Don't say that, I'm shy. Vince, you don't need to be shy, you gorgeous human being. I did actually invent Slapchop. I did that in 1989, actually, with some RTBA1 Marines, and some very watered down original Citadel paint. So I would have clearly documented that, but unfortunately, the internet wasn't around then. So sounds like a positive impressed when they did War Machine. Yeah, exactly the same pain, Gene Dean. Multiverse miniatures. What, yeah. Machine, which version? A metal one? Because if you drop a metal Jotun, whatever you drop it upon loses. That is a universal truism. You dropped a Seraph and lost 2 toes. Absolutely. Same here, I did it with DA. What's DA? DA? Dark Angels? No. DA. Explain yourself, Sergeant. Back in the day when Blood Angels were terracotta. Oh. Slapshot with Dark Angels. Whoa. I think we may have found the original OG Slap Chopper if you did it with Dark Angels, dude. Back in the day when Blood Angels were terracotta. Yes, they were. Actually, my first Blood Angels were terracotta because that's the paint that I had. So they were. I didn't actually have red. I had like terracotta and they were amazing. And all of them had the little like chainsaw bayonet that you could get. Beautiful. At the same time as Mark Owens. So you've been doing it a while then, Sarge. Well, it's clearly OG right there. But yeah, so nothing's going to change on the channel is what I'm saying. We're still going to do the same range of stuff, but Eldfall is going to be there. I'm covered by NDA, as you'd expect. So, like, there's some stuff that I've seen some stuff, man, and oh my god, wildly excited screaming, running around in circles, and then like, I can't tell anyone. I had the same actually. I worked for Corvus Belli when M5 came out. I worked for them for 3 months. And at that point, they gave me the release schedule for the next year, which on one hand was amazing because you could actually like forecast what you wanted to spend sort of when. And on the other hand, it absolutely sucked for 2 reasons. One, everyone else was like, oh, what's coming out this month? I know exactly what's coming out. There's no fun here. I know. And point 2, when you're in sort of December of the previous year and next November you're like, oh, that's going to be, I got to wait like, that sucks. That was rough. That was rough. Old Steel 1 shatter and left a dent, so there were no winners. You shattered, how high did you drop it from? Onto what? Machine, if you shattered a Jotun, my good God, man. That's a lot. That is a lot. But anyway, so there are some changes definitely coming up for Warcrow, and that's really, really good news. But in the meantime, my massive love affair with all things Eldfall is very much going to continue because, I mean, look, they're just cute. They're just awesome. We love them so much. And the other day I was putting together the Oni. I did this on stream actually, on focus. The detail on these things is obscene and they are so clean. His main like contact point is inside his torso. It's just gone. It's just gone. And then I remembered, so like, because I got Northern Wind, you get the special edition miniature, this little caster. How pretty is that? How pretty is that? Love it. But I won the first Dutch Eldfall tournament last year and got a red Risatsu, the limited edition red Risatsu, so I got to put her together at last. I'm not sure her sword is big enough, however. It might need to be bigger. Love it so much. So anyway, yeah, that was all cool. Back in the sorry, I cannot feel sad to hear Sarah fell. Vince, be nice. That's a very nicely detailed model. Done there, all the stuff for Eldfall it was one of the things that when I first saw the renders, I was like, okay. I've seen renders before. We've been here before. I'll get the miniatures and I'll see how they are. And I got the miniatures and I was like, dear God, I'm not a good enough painter for this. Happy days. In fact, the other day I was painting up. So, as I say, I'm doing the Arcanum at the moment. If you haven't seen that, that is our how to play guide for Eldfall. And the next video, which all going well, will go out tomorrow. No, Wednesday. Will include the first game, the first quest that we're going to complete. And for that, you're going to be raiding a crypt. So my good friend Problem put together a nice little crypt for me. Might have seen some pictures of these on Discord. So I just did a really quick paint job on that yesterday. It's looking pretty sweet. But if you're going to be raiding a crypt, you need some bad guys. So I got, one of the things I got for my birthday was some very pretty, over here, they're gargoyles, who now look like this. That's just a really quick paint job. I need to finish the rims on them, but got a couple of those coming in to cause mischief for my heroes. Focus, damn you. No, it's not going to focus. So there we go. Again, really pretty miniatures. They go together so easily. I think these two were both done in literally 3 or 4 minutes. Yeah, they really go together really well. So we have all that coming up. That's going to be very exciting. Very exciting indeed. I do have to say. I saw someone painted the Blight Rift Spawn the other day, and it was a thing of beauty. Oh, my Blighted Rift Spawn is coming at the end of this month. The level of excitement is very huge. Nothing wrong with a Seraph, and nothing wrong with a broken Seraph is accurate their machine. Have you got 2 yet, or are you still stuck on 1? It doesn't need a new sculpt, Vince. We don't need more Seraph. We do not need more Seraph. I'm hoping actually that, because as I say, I've got the Northern Wind Dungeon Crawl over here, so if you've not seen it before, it is a board game effectively set in the Eldfall universe. I'm hoping that I can stream that once a month and get a group of adventurers together and we can go and play through it all. So I've got a lot of miniatures to paint, but I'm hoping that's going to happen. I've got my Soga boss man already. I put him together quite quickly because he needed to happen. Like the wolf on the shoulder is just... Love the style and the drama of these guys. It's just brilliant. So I'm hoping to get like another 3 players so that we can do that. And then we can live stream the anarchy of us doing a very narrative focused board game for your pleasure. Live, direct, once a month on a Sunday. And the Blighted Rift Spawn is actually, it's a huge miniature. It's on a 10cm base. Big beastie. And it is the end of campaign boss, basically. That's what it's for. So painted in your patented slap chop method. Excuse me. Yes, please. Yes, I know, machine. If they, to be honest with you, the level of excitement you will have if they ever produce a new Seraph will be. I'm just going to stay away from you for a few days. You need to paint. You're staying away from the keyboard. Yes, you do. You've got stuff to paint ahead of the narrative. So that's important. I still have not figured out how to build tag lists. Oh, tag lists are easy. Tag lists are really, really easy. Only one if the new sculpt comes, I'll be the first to buy it. Hey Kev, welcome. Kevin, good evening. Hello, hello. Take tag out of the sentence, that's me. There are videos on the channel that help with that. I need to do more actually on this building. The thought of building my entire list around a single model terrifies me. You don't. Don't. There are different types, different classifications of tag, and they range from things like a what would be a good example? Drago. Drago is a weapons platform. Okay, it is a delivery system for a hyper rapid magnetic cannon, Arm 8, 3 structure. I think BS 15. It sits at the back of the field and goes BERT at things. It's the only thing it does. It's good for controlling specific areas of the board and being a very big distraction. That is its main purpose, is basically like having a conversation with somebody who's holding a baseball bat behind their back. You can see it, they know you can see it, everyone knows that it's there, and you're worried you're going to get hit with it, so your enemy just pivots around this piece. Good experienced veterans will be like, I don't care, and ignore it. Then you have the more sort of utilitarian hit pieces like the Seraph that can just bounce around all over the place. Geckos I'd put in the same group because they're stick it down the enemy's throat while the rest of the list does its own thing. It's kind of independent of that. If I have a mission to do, I'm going to do it with everything else, but I'm going to scare you and hit you very, very hard repeatedly with this thing. I'm going to just bring it at you. And that's what things like Geckos and Seraph and all that kind of things are. Then you have things like the Stigmata, which is the hacker tag. That is incredibly useful. That's got a lot of different things that it can do, a lot of different hats that it wears. So you don't write your list around a tag. You leave a tag size hole in your list, and then you write your list, and then you put the tag in that. It's the other way around. So some do it better than others. That's absolutely true. Machine, you're completely right. Or if you build it around 2 tags, then building a list around 2 models. Yeah, Kevin, you can absolutely do that. But as Machine will tell you, the joy of taking a Tick Balang and a Seraph, way more interesting, because you've got 2 then units that are quite complementary in what they do and can play off each other quite nicely. But if you want to talk about really kind of going completely bonkers, then Corregidor and taking 3 Gecko tags in a Harris fire team. Legitimate tactic. Absolutely legitimate tactic. There is indeed. Of course you play double Seraph in the IGL. And how's that going so far, Machine? How is your experience of the Global League of Infinity going? So if you haven't seen it, the IGL is online, played by Tabletop Simulator. Global Infinity Satellite Tournament. How many players are in it? Do you know, Machine? Do we know? I'm not sure. I don't tend to pay a lot of attention to them because I'm busy doing my own stuff, to be honest with you. I know you're having fun. It's because you're playing Americans and they just play on terrible tables. Controversial. We went there. We went there. But yeah, so the point is you can, it depends. You can write your list around a tag, but I wouldn't. I'd write a list with a tag size hole in it, because that's much more useful. Because the list itself needs to function, and you know, even with careful play, you're a couple of crits and a lucky hacker roll away from losing your tag anyway. It's only got 3 structure. 50-ish in Europe, so 90 player event. Nice. Nice. That's a good size. Because you're doing it's everybody in Europe, then everybody in the US, and then the winners go off against each other. I think that's right. Yeah. We're still trying to launch our satellite over here. For clarity's sake, it was launched to members, 120 players. Nice. It was launched to our satellite was launched to members and the local community last week. And we're half full already because we're going for a 50-man event to start off with. Just a small one, just a 50-player satellite tournament in May. And it was supposed to go live on Friday to the general public, just for everybody else to join in who wants to. So we had a slight issue with counting's overrated, Machine. You can roll dice beautifully. It's all fine. We were supposed to go live and people couldn't hit the register button. So I contacted CB about it and they went, no, they can't. Well, could we fix that? Because I don't want to have to add everybody manually, which is what we've been doing so far. Oh yeah, well look at it. That's supposed to be fixed today. It was not fixed today. It's waiting on a rollout. So we're waiting on that rollout. And as soon as that happens, then it's going to go out to the masses and we'll see what happens. Hydra, if you'd pick a video game that most closely resembled Infinity, what would you say it would be? Play-wise, everyone always says XCOM 2. I can get that. I can understand that entirely. There's a lot of that feel inside of Infinity. Aesthetically, I don't know. It's one of those things, there's a lot of things inside of Infinity that make it difficult because they also pick a lot from pop culture. And that drives me nuts sometimes. Like, just do your own damn thing. We don't need another pop culture reference. But yeah, I guess XCOM 2. 3 rounds, we are paired by region, then we mix. There we go. There we go. So you've done 2 rounds already so far, haven't you, Vince? I seem to recall. The newbie bully loves that game. Hate it. Yeah. Have you resolved him yet? Or is he continuing to be a challenging individual? I like newbie bullies. Yeah. Feed him to me. Stick him in the post and bring him over. Hang on a sec. Dreaming dog. Dreaming dog. What are you doing? Stop dreaming. Goodness me. My goodness. Ooh. Oh yeah, also, if you have a Twitch account, then please do go over there and give me a follow on there because that helps immensely. And if you have Prime, if you wouldn't mind giving me a subscribe because it doesn't cost you a bean and helps me out immensely and takes money off of Jeff Bezos, which, let's be honest, anything that takes money out of Bezos' pocket, it's got to be a good thing. So, yes, 2 rounds, 3rd is starting now. Cool. I expect great things. Come back with your sword on it, gentlemen. Good morning. Good morning, nerds. Hello, Frosty. How are you, buddy? Good to see you. The Aussies are coming. Brace yourselves. Hide your women. Lock up your silverware. They're here. He's been isolated, so has had no one interact. Oh, that's rough, man. So in those situations, I feel sorry for the individual because it's like, no, that's really rough, but also, duh. This is kind of a thing that you bought on yourself. So, yeah. It's tough. It is rough. You guys, like Nuclear Kid, and Aegis, and Slyan, and Eichholder, and Sodium Ion, you guys look on the channel posts and go down. You should find a link to Discord on this. You can join the Discord as well. You can become one. Painting some Canuck and Brit stuff at the moment for the Spearhead tourney. Nice. That's what I like to hear. This is very exciting. The Spearhead tourney is going to be good. I have so much painting to do for that. As soon as I finish the Eldfall stuff, so I've got 2 miniatures that I did the bases for today, and I need to do a bit more paintwork on them so that I can finish them up to a standard where I'm happy to put them on screen. They're not going to be like this guy here. He's kind of like, he's a good 80-90%. I'm kind of happy with how he turned out. They are kind of 60-70%, and that's where they're going to have to be. So yeah. Oh, one of you's joined. Well done. How good is a Tuesday morning when you start with a Hydra stream? You're welcome. Always a pleasure to have you here, buddy. Always good. I also resent the Americans play on bad tables comment. You would love to play on the tables I get to play on. That's because you play at Warsenal. I know the game you're playing. I know what you're doing. You get to play with Jay's toys, and that's just rude. There's no need to bring it up. There's no need to rub it in. We all know. I hear you. And one day, because I have full confidence in all of you out there in US land, when you've disposed of the Tangerine Tyrant and sanity is returned to the world, drip by glorious drip, then I expect some more sensible situations with the tariffs, so we can get J goodies over here, and we can make some nice Warsenal tables over here, because I'd like that. That would be nice. If you've not seen Warsenal pre-coloured terrain, don't look at it for the love of God. Your wallet won't thank you, and if you don't live in the US, the tariffs are so horrific on a product that is quite expensive anyway, it's just not worth them. So there's a table. Yes, just, yeah, machine, just get Multiverse to stick it in a box and ship it over. What, the Tangerine Tyrant? Yeah. It's not mine. I got that from somewhere else. I can't remember where. Accurate. But yes, we do love the Warston stuff. I actually met Jay at the Interplanet, so the boss man from Warston. I met him at the Interplanetarium a couple of years ago. And they had a table there, and it was just like, And I said to him, you know, can we get this over here? We'd really like this over here. He was like, it's just not worth it. Which is really rough. I really like a table like that. I'd sell my soul. Machine, you don't have a soul. You haven't got. Don't go conning people, telling them you're going to sell something you haven't got. Dear Lord. But I want that TT Combat terrain so bad. The TT Combat stuff is pretty. And I can get that ready. I can get that shipped to my mum's house and then like shipped over here, and then there's no import stuff. Just saying. Vince, you offer a nappy nap. Sleep well, my friend. Always good to see you. Thank you for dropping in. It was very kind. It's good to see you, bud. I swear, I'd like to purchase a few other games, but afraid of added cost lately. I hear you. If you could, what games would you play? What games would you pick up, this wedger? Hey Cal, thank you for joining Discord. Also, I'm slowly building my own table so I get to play with my own toys, not just his. Multiverse, you're new here. I don't want to have to ban you this quickly. Okay? Don't, you know? Even Kaz has managed to sort of schnook underneath getting banned. He's tried. It's just too cute, that's the problem. But don't, you know? Frosty. Right. That doesn't help. I'd sell Machine Soul as well for some Warston stuff. That's very kind of you, Frosty. Oh, speaking of terrain, what is the best for Eldfall? Well, at the moment, I am running on battle systems. That's the stuff you're going to see in upcoming battle reports. But I have designs on some stuff. It's probably going to be 3D printed. There's some stuff that I've seen out there that's been designed that I'm like, oh, Soga, so good for Soga. Drop Fleet, I'm with you. Oh, Drop Fleet, oh, it haunts my dreams. It really does. Eldfall, yeah, you should do Eldfall. You should definitely do Eldfall. Eldfall, you can buy it. Eldfall's available from multiple places in the US. I think Warsenal now has it. So you can get Eldfall Chronicles in the US, and you absolutely should. Just renewed my passport for the Schengen region. Outstanding. Old Man Rogers is joining us for the satellite, so that's going to be good. I'm just excited. You should be. If your hobby doesn't make you excited, you're doing it wrong. That's it. And you should be. All jesting aside, I'm incredibly jealous, and I want to see pictures. When you've got your terrain and you've put it together, I want to see those on the Discord, because it's beautiful stuff, and share it. Share the beauty. It's inspiring, and it's cool, and it's just freaking awesome. So yeah, you're going to get jealousy back, but you're also going to get, you know, if you need somebody to do something to get banned, I can start a strategy. Kaz, I couldn't ban you. I'd miss you. Maker's Anvil? Yep. Don't be coy. Who's being coy? Never be coy. Gamescape 3D? Yep. The models for Eldfall are lovely. How much terrain does it use? Is the board size similar to Infinity? Eldfall runs on a 3x3, and it's very light on terrain. We played, in fact, I played a game this weekend. This is absolutely not how you do any of this, but we're going to do it this way anyway, because it's just quicker. Oop. Go away. Stop it. We played in a bit of a dense table, if anything. I'd argue this could have been lighter. Can't work blooming phones. Let's see if this works. So this was the table that we ran on the weekend. So you get an idea. It's not hugely dense. It could be less dense than that. We were coming back to a friend of mine, well, Problem, in fact, was coming back to the game after a hiatus. So I kind of wanted to give it a little bit more space. I wanted to make it a little bit easier. for him to engage with and all that kind of stuff. A little bit more terrain makes it a little bit nicer. Oh, thank you, Problem. Thank you for shipping that. So, you know, it's not as... Yeah. Moonstone, absolutely. If similar sort of terrain style, size, and volume as the Mighty Moonstone. Beautiful game. So Moonstone still remains the game that I wish I liked enough to play. No, I love it enough. I think it's beautiful. I think it's stunning. I think what they're doing is great. And the system itself does nothing for me. So annoying. You look at it like, yes. No. God damn it. All I want to do is play this. So, anywho. Also, I went through a massive insomnia AI flu and caffeine fueled. Think of stuff to cull. Dial back. 40k OS armies. Kill team. Blood Bowl. Good Evil team. 2 Infin forces. Flames of War and Malifaux faction. My good God. What Infinity forces are you getting rid of? May have a home for those. Just join the Discord. I try to remember to post some pictures of the weird stuff I'm making. Please do, Nuclear. It would be very much appreciated. Yes, I bought loads of Moonstone as I love the miniatures, but not really played it. Just painted it. Yeah. They are gorgeous miniatures. They are absolutely stunning. And that's the thing. I look at them like, yes. When you read the fluff around it, it's like, this is so cool. You read the idea of the game, and I'm like, that sounds interesting. I'm here for it. And then I start reading the rules, and I'm like, no. Not going to happen. It's why Eldfall was such a simple jump, because there are very strong elements of Infinity inside of there. Therefore, it's like, I already know most of this. Which helps. Oh man, we're doing it simply because of the amount of armies versus games played in the last 6 years. Yeah, I ditched whole systems based on this. Hasn't been out recently. My wife says she would miss me too, at least until my life insurance check comes in. Yeah, that's fair. I get that. I posted a pic of a table I built for friend's first game in Discord using one piece of Warsaw terrain. Yeah, lovely. Summer is up. Hey, thank you for the happy birthday. I haven't been able to afford any minis, but I do use your videos to help me know how to eventually play when I can afford them. Tabletop sim is not the same. Dude, it's all good. You'll get there. And the most important thing that I want for you is that you have fun and you enjoy your hobby. That's the most important thing. So if you're having fun with it and you're enjoying it, you're doing it absolutely right, and that's exactly what we're here for. So thank you so much, and thank you for the happy birthday. That's very kind. Which systems are you looking to play? And which factions are those systems? Let us know. Terrain density depends on its skirmish and how much range shenanigans also the theme. Yeah, that's absolutely true. The system very much dictates the terrain, but with Eldfall, like there's certain things, certain triggers and stuff that happen, and magic and bows, and if you're playing some filth monkey who uses Soga, then you want more line of sight blocking terrain, because we have bowmen that can stop you doing things. How dense do you think the game table should be for the tourney, by the way? I'm going to go more thematic on that one. That is the objective on that one. So I want to make sure that we have a, for those who are not on with what we're talking about, start of March, we have a tournament for bolt action, and it's really focused on armor. So we're going to need space for the armor to run. We don't want too dense. We want to have some open, but you need a line of fire blocking so that the long range weapons aren't too deadly. So a little less dense than normal, but ensuring that we have plenty of line of sight blocking terrain so that they don't become too dominant. So it's a balance. So no Bocage French table. No. Definitely not that. That's definitely not one of the things. Shatterpoint is also 3x3, so an excuse to use those mats I already own is a good one. Yeah, no, absolutely. If you've got 3x3s, definitely. And the price point of getting into Eldfall is keen. They are very, very keen. I would say that. So, all right. The Woods and Burrows and Badgers, plenty of games, only so much time and money. Yeah, I hear you on that one. Hellfire does look like, it literally is Fantasy Infinity with some nice quality of life changes. Actually, some really nice quality of life changes inside of it. So, how How many models per side? With full tournament grade, you're looking at normally 4. If you go to things like the goblins, which you absolutely should do because they look like they have this kind of craziness going on because it has to be shared. These are goblins. Freaking cute. Then you're going to end up potentially, depending on what type of goblins you run, with maybe 5. But on average, you're going to run 4. That's the standard size of L4, which again is one of the attractions because you're not dealing with, you're not like having to get 30 miniatures and build them out. In fact, the entirety of Soga, so there's 4 main factions, 4 big factions. The entirety of Soga is 10 miniatures. 3, 2, 4, yeah, 10 miniatures. 10 miniatures is the entire faction. Do you have multiples? I do, but that's because I'm a bad person. If you like having friends, you don't have multiples. Here we are. So 4 is very accessible, and when you get like the oh, where are you? Oh, look at that! I piled it right at the bottom. So like this is a starter box for Eldfall. That's it. 4 miniatures in there, which will get you up to 85 points, which is the standard size of the game. You can get up to 85 with them. No problems at all. And in here you have the 4 miniatures, and then you have the cards. So there should be some cards, because they are stat cards that you get with all these. So, yeah, the rules are free online. There's an army builder free online. It's a D20 system. And if you know Infinity, then it's more unlearning certain things that you definitely know to be true, which are not true for Eldfall. I'm going to break everything now. I've put this together and it was really nice and really simple. Now I've just wrecked it. You kind of need to unlearn some things and put some things in different ways to make Eldfall fit. But if you have any concept of Infinity, this is so easy to pick up. It's like no problems. I like multiples, double Flame Weaver and Expatriate. Yeah, no, get that. That's a good plan. You know, double on a Taoshi for me. The human meat grinder that is the Onataoshi. She did some very good work on Saturday. We'll talk about it in a second. And multiple attendants as well, because cheap bowman is good. So, I'm not allowed, where are we? Alpha, random bits of hack and miss stuff. Cool. I'm not allowing myself to buy into new games until I clean up all the excess minis I already have. I got games I need to part with. Yeah, it's sensible, Kaz. If it's been in the cupboard more than 6 months, then it's stuff. And I'm just storing it. It's not part of my hobby, I'm just storing it. Then it goes. It's the way that I run. I'm going to try Eldfall because it seems affordable. Really good call. Really, really good call. It's not... Yeah. The starter boxes are a reasonable price. If you get a 2-player starter box, it's obscenely good value. I think 70, 80 euros gets you 2 starter boxes and the rule book and tokens and dice and everything you need to really to get started apart from terrain. So, yeah, very much so. Yes, so I'm saving for that. It'll be my first physical minis. Awesome. So you've never wargamed before. This is going to be your first time out. Heck, even a Citadel Guard double would be cool. Yeah, like 60 quid for 2 forces. That's very nice. It is. It really is. And they are, unlike some other systems that I've played where you get your starter box and it's like, yes, why? Oh. I played a game on Saturday, 85 points. I took 3 miniatures from the starter box and an extra 1 from the first reinforcements pack because I'd never seen the table and I wanted to try him. I wanted to see how he did because I could do some filth with it. So it's a lot of fun. Also, if you can go, you get a 3x3 tape of 6 inches around a 4x4. Yeah, absolutely. Goblin spam, yes. When you pick him up, it will be goblin spam. You're not a bad person, Hydra. You just down with the sickness. I am indeed down with the sickness. Question though, one time you mentioned Infinity used to have nested rules and Eldfall has nested rules now. Do you think that they should do what Infinity did to make it more accessible? No, because the depth of nested rules is way less than it was. So what I mean by that is, I mean, this is all pulled from memory of N2 and stuff like that. If you had a miniature, you'd have a miniature on its profile. On Infinity, it would have camouflage. You're like, oh, okay, that's cool. It's got camouflage. It's not a problem. So I can go into a camouflage state. Yes. Cool. It also has stealth, therefore. Oh, okay. So it's camouflage and stealth. Yes, but the camouflage has stealth. So he has camouflage and camouflage has stealth. Oh, okay. That's not a problem. That's fine. Also has surprise shot. Right. Good. Okay. Right. And they just became inside of Infinity. This rule causes this, this, and the level of assumed knowledge was a bit headachy, a little bit annoying. With Eldfall, so like, why did I put those away? I don't know why I do this to myself. I'm so annoying. I literally just put the cards away, and I should have kept them out. Have I got cards in there? I don't have cards in there. Oh, I've got cards in here. So you have the things that are nested are things like, so this is going to be back to front, isn't it? No, it's not. It's around the right way. So you see here, it's got Warrior and Arms Master. Okay. Those are classes that this guy has, that the Guildsworn Knight has, and Warrior means that at the start of your turn, you can make him do a thing so that when it's not your turn, he strikes as if it is your turn, which is a good thing, number of dice, because normally you get reduced. He doesn't. He can be turned around. And Arms Master means that you get an extra hit when you're having your turn. So if you normally hit once, he hits twice. Stuff like that. These things are relatively straightforward to learn. There can be some that are a little faffy. So it's the one I'm thinking of. I want to say Ranger. I think Ranger is one of the classes that's a bit of an idiot. No, that's it. Rogue. A rogue may perform an AG roll. The rogue's hit gains knockdown, which is an ability you then need. There's a bit of nesting, but for the most part, these classes are that. They're kind of one thing and you have to know it. That's what I mean by nested. But things like, here he has a combat art of fencing 4. That's here. You can see all the different things that fencing does, and when you're in combat, you can choose one of these to activate effectively. So it's nowhere near as bad as Infinity used to be, but it is still there. But it's you very quickly learn, because you're going to use them a lot. You know, every time you get into combat, you're going to use Arms Master. You are going to know Arms Master means this. Cool. And Soldier means that if they're grouped together, they give X, Y, Z. But you're going to learn it, but it's a little bit more of a faff than Infinity, which has them kind of all there. So I don't view it as a problem. It's just a slight challenge for newer players, I guess. That's my view. Question though, yeah. So that's the view on that one somewhere. It's all on cards. The space is limited. I think it is that, but it's also there's other reasons for it. I think. Yes, but there is Old Man Rogers. There is a free app for Eldfall as well. The Guildhall is free. It's not an app at the moment. It's only online, but it is free on the website. So you do have that. I'm from Africa. Don't stress though. So what was the likelihood of an option for all of the options at once? Sorry, what do you mean, Blissful Badger? Thanks for going above and beyond. No problems. I'm happy to. It's why I started this channel, is to help people get into wargaming, because wargaming is one of those things where you look at it and you go, "That's so cool. What do I do now?" And 9 times out of 10, well, 5 times out of 10, somebody goes, I'll teach you to play, and they slap you around the board and it's a horrible experience. And 4 times out of 10, somebody turns around and goes, so, information, which is just like, stop it, I don't understand, none of this makes sense, I've never done this before. Ah. That's not helpful. And then 1 time in 10, you get somebody who goes, right, sit down, grab a drink, this is going to be fun. I'm trying to do that and help that, so, you know. It's also only 4 models, whereas the time on Infinity Destined you had 10 to... In the N2, you had up to 25, 30. So, it's very flipping fun. Yes, it is flipping fun. I took all starters. Same here. Bit of a mistake. Yeah, you did take all starter. Really strong team at the starter set. I showed a mate and he said, half naked cat girls, you son of a bitch. I mean, if he's into that, hang on, where is she? I'm going to show you this one. This is Cruel and Unusual Torture. She's not, oh no, she's kind of half naked actually. But this is from Northern Wind, which is this bit here. This is the Dungeon Crawler board game from, as part of that universe. And you get heroes in that for all of the 4 main factions, including an epic cat girl of absolute stupidity. Absolutely love it. Brilliant, absolutely bonkers. But I've shown 3 of them, so I'm going to. Sorry, I've shown 2 of them, so I've got to show this one. This is my favourite one. In Eldfall, there are elves, and they're called Rin, and there are 2 types of Rin, and that you kind of got the Sun Rin and the Night Rin, for the sake of simplicity. And this is one of the Night Rin. This is the Night Rin character. How freaking cool is that? He's just an absolute badass. Of course, happens to be my wife's faction, which means that he should be stoving my face in at some point soon. Look forward to that. Anyway, right, enough miniature porn. It's quite enough. I still need to slightly update the cheat sheets. Yeah, I need to work on those actually. That's the thing I need to do. That was my experience with Infinity. First teaching game, full 300 points, smash me into oblivion. Yeah, which is horrible. I hate that. That's drives me nuts. So many people bounce off Infinity because somebody goes noob smashing. You have the sunny one, you do indeed. Never enough miniature born. Oh, yes, I have many. So many. Look, if we're doing miniature porn, we're going to do some more Soga because Soga makes me happy. My main faction is Soga, which is Oriental influenced humans. But like, this is a scholar. The drama, where is he? He's there. The drama and the like detail on these guys is just brilliant. I love it so much. I do love it so hugely. And the new boss man, the great guard, or boss lady, sorry, boss man. If you're not sure whether they're Asian influenced, they are. Hugely. She is absolutely brilliant. Because Soga is a... Oh, I need to clean up a little bit more of that. It needs a bit straightening. Soga as a force, when you get the starter box, is all violence. It's purely just, I come at you swinging the choppy chops, and I'm going to choppy chop you. That's what they do. And we just got this new release for Soga, which is this one here, Imperial Banner. You just got this box. This is on pre-order now. It comes out really, really soon, and it changes things completely. They are defensive, which is just like, what? We want the enemy to come to us? I want to scream across the board and choppy chop. Anyway. Force size is usually 4 minis. There's a starter, expansion sets. Click buy now for all of the faction. Yeah, it's the easiest way forward. In all seriousness, because it changes, like, you have a leader and the leader changes things, but then what you put in with it synergizes differently. And yes, Blob. The furry. Bless you. Why? Why did it give you a headache? I was done like in 2 minutes. Dark Elves are in Eldfall now. I'm interested. They are the Thenian. The thing. So I love the Thenian. It's what my wife plays. And they are incredible glass cannons, but they can do things like walk through walls. So you have like your terrain and stuff, and you've got a nice little village, and you're defended behind a wall and all the rest of it. And then this frickin' dark elf just walks through the building and then stabs you in the back and then walks back through the building and is gone. Like they were never there. You're like, how is that a thing? Oh, it's a thing. Very much a thing. First game versus our friend the Unknown Painter, I was trying to explain why he shouldn't run his Fusiliers directly at A. Yeah. He did anyway. You can't teach some people. Yeah, but he's a lovely human being, which is a real problem. He's currently painting a Marit that I sent him. So that's exciting. I saw the Queen's Blade models and picked whichever faction they belong to in an instant. Thenian, Dark Elves, you murder elves. The Queen's Blades peak, and the way they play, the synergy they bring, so good. So much fun. There is a whole thing. If you're going Thenian, we have a faction focus on Thenian on the channel, which runs through all the miniatures, including Queen's Blade, how they fit together. There's got some lists on there. If you're a member of the channel, then you get, I think there's extra lists, suggestions, I think, for members. So if you're a member, you can get that. I thought my main faction would be Coalition of Thenian, but then Helian League. Helian, so Sun Elves, are very, very funky. You should speak to Problem, who's over on Twitch, which is very inconvenient, because he is a Thenian main. What's my favourite 40k faction? Blood Angels. This is the only faction. Space Vampires, just clearly. Now that's really weird, Blob. That is really odd. It just didn't stick. I had my friend do the same thing when I taught him Infinity. He couldn't kill my total reaction bot and refused to take my advice to cautious move. You can't teach some people multiverse. There are some people that... But you're on Patreon. It's so Donna, it is on Patreon, yes. You'll find it on Patreon. Hang on a second. For goodness sake. I hate Facebook with a passion. You put something in it and then it goes, did you actually mean that? But you've already left, so you don't know that it's sat there going, did you want me to post the thing? Yes. Oh, that's why. Why are we having this conversation? Yeah. This is going to be a little annoying for the world, but it's the thing. Some days, this should work for you, buddy. There. That should take you to the post. So it is 1 hour and 26 minutes of just Thenian. Everything Thenian. I think we do lore, tactics, we talk about the schemes and the upgrades, so they get upgrade cards and they get scheme cards. If you look for the scheme cards and the upgrade cards, you can't get them at the moment because they're getting reprinted, but you'll see what they are and you can get them in the book and download them and print them. So. But yeah, that's there. He is the best human. He's glorious at painting, so he has at least be bad at one aspect of the hobby. Yeah, but he's also a really good painter when really good player when he gets his head into it. And Marut, you say, for him, other. So he's, we got a partnership, the channel got a partnership with AK, but I'm not good enough, bluntly. So I spoke to him about doing some intro painting videos for Infinity to do like using some weathering and using some panel lining and all this kind of thing to teach people how to elevate, to start using enamel paints and all-based paints basically to get effects on the mini. So I sent him the paints that AK sent me and a Marit and basically said, make it be a thing. So he's doing that at the moment. And he's actually been doing some painting with Eldfall as well. So the Unknown Painter on TikTok and on Twitch, godlike painter, absolutely legendary and the nicest human being you'll ever meet. So even nicer than me. That's, you know, just saying. You are most welcome down there. cautious, smoke, counter snipe. Yeah. All the good things. I rang for Helion. Yes, I did. I did indeed. Frosty is looking at Helion, so you should tell him about that. But don't tell him what happened to you on Saturday, because that won't help. His first game, so hopefully he will. Yeah, hopefully he will. Talk about the game we had. Oh my good God. Do you guys want to hear about the game that I had against Mr. Van Diem, aka Problem, on Saturday night? You probably don't, do you? You don't want to hear about that. That's not really interesting. Do you want to hear about it? I think you should hear about it. So, my good friend Problem hasn't played Eldfall for a while. I'm on a bit of a kick. I don't know if you've noticed. Did he? I didn't know he did that, Marine. It came in my 2-player starter, so I love it. All the way. Tell the story. I'm telling the story. God, don't bully me. This is my birthday stream. Yeesh. Unbelievable. Monsters. So anyway, so I have some really filthy lists that I can bring, and I decided not to bring filth. So it's the first time back in a while. Doesn't make the same mistake I made. He'll be fine. Yes, he will. So we decided to play Treasure Hunt, which is a quest, where you have 2 little bits in the middle, and you have to go up to them, and you have to then open them. When you open them, a spell goes off, a random spell happens, and then if you survive that, which proved to be a challenge, then you have to try and take the treasure and then run away with it. And whoever controls the treasure at the end of the game wins. Simple as that. So, Problem brought everything in the Helion starter set, which is basically the leader is a spellcaster who's there to buff everyone out and to sort of put protection on people. If you imagine with Helion League, it's very much like a paladin type environment. So you have a blob that moves together and they go up, and they need to stay together because they're supporting and buffing each other, kind of thing. He then had two sword fighters, effectively. One who's good in defense and one who's good kind of all round. And then a spellcaster who was just going to fire out flame at anyone that got close enough. Is that a fair summary? Mr. Van Diem, if you can confirm, that'd be good, because I think that's pretty much where you're at. The Good Marine, that was statue size, not the small blubber one. Oh, okay. Huh, never knew that. I can believe it, though. I can believe that. So yeah, that's my memory of what he had. I ran the Soga starter box with a twist. So what I had was a clan champion, who's the leader. So he's quite pokey and quite vicious, quite unpleasant dude to run around with. Then I had my Onataushi, my painted Onataushi. Yeah, the Hierophant. That was your leader, wasn't she? The Hierophant was your leader. That's the one that hands out the buffings. I know, pretty central. Yes. So then I had clan champion Onataushi, who's just a human blender. Basically, that's what she does. A mushy bowmaster who's a bowman. Now, I'd given upgrades to Onataushi to make Onataushi a bit more deadly, to give her an extra hit every time she was active. And with the bowmaster, I'd given him a better bow so that an upgrade to his training so that he could fire twice in a single activation. How to play Rabbit Hole tomorrow? Well, we are on episode 4 of the How to Play series at the moment down there. So episode 5 will come out with the first intro game. So look forward to that. And then I had the Kitsune, who is a spellcaster who can set fire to everything, but she can also regenerate an action point. So you need action points. You have stamina, and that tells you how many times you're going to activate in a turn. And if somebody has none, the Kitsune can go, you can activate again and get them moving, which is really powerful. I'm not going to go through all of the upgrades. Love you too, man. You off, Mr. Rogers. you don't go into the detail. If we recorded the battery report, we'd go through all this, but it's just enough to give the sniff. Otherwise, people are going to get bored. So he gave a couple of upgrades that made his guys faster and gave one with a crossbow. But essentially what happened was Problem chose to take board edge and choose who would deploy, which gave me initiative. Now I know that what he wants to do is kind of bundle up and stay back and make me come to him. That's the shtick. You can see it from a mile off. You know what needs to happen. He doesn't want to spread out. He doesn't want to make his Hierophant, who's giving his leader, who's giving all these buffs to everybody's protection, everybody, doesn't want to put her at risk. So, whoosh. Yes, okay. So, I made him go first because then he has to commit. He has to do something. So he did. He moved up and got himself into some positions and kind of got the spellcaster on top of a wall so he could cast firebolts down on people and all this kind of mayhem. So the theory went. Now, I had shot one of his armoured dudesmen and chipped a wound off with my bowman, because that's what bowmans do. Twing! Sorry. But when it came around to my turn, his armoured dude was still in position where my bowmaster could shoot. So my bowmaster shot twice and chipped a wound off, which wasn't really enough. So then I had to use my Kitsune to give him another action point, shot again, and I think finally finished him off. It might have taken all my activation points, but finally finished him off. What did the Onitaushi? Somebody went up basically and slaughtered him. Anyway, he was dead. He was out. Then I brought my clan champion up because I just wanted to try poking the guy off the wall, the fiery dude. I didn't want her to be there. Sorry, but it ended up with my clan champion, my leader, dying because we got smited through the wall by his leader, and I just sort of stood there and had myself set on fire and died. It was all very sad. So at the end of turn one, no one had scored anything, but we've both lost a miniature. I'd lost my leader, he'd lost one of his. Into turn two, he sort of moved around to try and get better positions from memory, and got a shot off with the Onitaushi, who dodged out of the way with his Flame Weaver. Opened one of the boxes, which I think tried to set fire to one of his guys. That was not pretty. Yeah, holy fire, woof. It was very good times. But at the end of it, he'd managed to open one of the boxes, but he hadn't managed to take anything out, which was a bit of a problem. It's a bit of a challenge at that point. Then, in my turn two, from memory, Onitaushi kind of charged into the middle and finished off the second armoured person, then moved back, getting smited by his spellcaster the whole time, and finally got knocked down. Finally got knocked down onto unconscious, incapacitated. And I repositioned my bowman so that the bowman could see the only easy route to get to Onitaushi. And so Onitaushi, painted Onitaushi, was unconscious. She was down. Very sad. So then, in Problem's second turn, he was down to 2 miniatures. He wanted to go and finish off Onitaushi so that Onitaushi couldn't get up again, basically. So wanted to coup de grace and finish off, basically. And yes, you couldn't roll whip checks. You couldn't roll to extract anything. He was having real problems getting anything out of the box. And so he's like, right, I'm gonna run round to Onitaushi and then finish Onitaushi off and then go over to the box. And I was like, you're gonna run? He was like, yeah, I'm gonna run. I was like, you're going to run? Yes, I'm gonna run. This was the moment you made the mistake in the third turn, yes. So I'm sat there going, you're going to run, because when you run, that's all you can do. You get to double move, basically, but that's it. That is your activation. There's nothing else you can do. So I'm going to run. And then he ran. And he ran straight across in front of my bowmaster, who went, ooh, target of opportunity. Loosed 2 arrows, hit the poor little flame weaver with 1, and dropped the flame weaver unconscious or incapacitated. It was just one of those. If you'd have moved and then dodged, you probably would have survived. But because he ran, I got a free shot, and my bowmaster didn't miss. He was hitting on 14s, I think. 14 or less on a D20. 70% chance of success. Dunk, dish. At which point, problem has problems of quite a grand scale. Because I think in my second turn, my bowmaster had taken one of the boxes, so I held one of the boxes. So I'd scored. I had points on the board. And then all he had left now was his boss, who was behind a wall, on her own, and on the other side of the wall was an incapacitated Onataoshi, who, when I started my turn, when a miniature is incapacitated, you get to make a check at the start of your turn, and if you succeed, they stand up. And she stood up. Now, Onataoshi at this point was cross. She was incredibly vexed. Somebody had dented her armour and knocked her down on the ground, and one doth not do that to Onataoshi. Yes, third turn. So, Onataoshi came running around the corner, so I was just like, YOLO. At this point, it doesn't matter. If Onataoshi dies, Onataoshi dies. At which point, probably missed with his, I think it was 15 or less that he needed to hit Onataoshi. Missed. The spell went wide. And then I was then within 2 inches, and with Onataoshi, she's got a long blade, so within 2 inches you're engaged. You can't do anything that's apart from a very specific thing. It's a very specific set of things. You can't do some of your casting stuff. So then with the second activation, Onataoshi just went shunk and killed the last of his miniatures on the board. Just sliced her clean in half. It was just violent. And I still had 2 miniatures unactivated, so I could go and get the other box if I wanted. I had the capacity to do that because my Kitsune was one of them, so I could Blade Master could move up, use his activations to get close, and then I could just go poop, have another activation, move up, open box, and save the day. Yeah, so that was that really. There were bits of healing all across the board, scattered left, right, and centre. Onataoshi was bleeding quite severely. My clan champion was an embarrassment to everybody that knew him. He'll get better. He needs a bit more practice. And yeah, the dodge cost me the game. No two ways about it. Definitely. Kaz, you're heading out. Got to feed the little one before I take it to dance. Happy birthday. Thank you so much, and thank you for the generous gift. That was very kind of you. I appreciate that hugely, Kaz. That was very kind. And very unexpected, so thank you, mate. Have a good day. And, best to the little one, too. So yeah, it was a really good game, and there were a couple of things that I loved about it. There were lots of cinematic moments. There were lots of moments that was like, ooh, and it just felt good. You know what I mean? When you're playing a game and it feels like you're playing it, you have say, you have control. And I really felt that with I always feel that with Eldfall. It's like my choices make this game, this experience. I love that. The other thing that I adored about it was that we were done in about 1 hour and 20 minutes. It was sorted and done, and that was with checking rules and faffing about and having a laugh and having talking some shit candidly to each other and talking to other people. It's lovely to have a game where in a gaming evening of sort of 3 hours, 4 hours, you can comfortably get 2 games in. You know, you can genuinely play 2 of these of an evening. And I finished the game feeling relaxed and chilled. I'd had fun. I hadn't like had my brain stoved in trying to sort out 25 orders and 7 missions and that kind of stuff. It's just that's what Eldfall is for me. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of control. There's the depth there. There's the choices there, but there's not the hangover that Infinity gives me sometimes. Sometimes I finish a game of Infinity, I'm like, I won. Oh, thank God, it's done. It can be intense. All the depth, none of the hassle. I'm loving that. That is definitely working for me. So yeah, it was a good game. In all honesty, we could have played 2 or 3 games. I think we could have played 2 or 3 games quite comfortably, man. I think we could have done. I think next time, I'm going to see if we can get more Eldfall players so we can just do a round robin of, you know, switching around. If Blissful Badger, if you get stuck, let me know, because there are people and we can sort that out. Just let me know. I'm happy to help. XYZ too much. Also know if I did, yeah. But yes, because you definitely should be. I'd also like to see you do it on stream and see what you can make of it. I need to find out how you did with that aircraft kit as well. That looked intense. So I want to know how that went. Yes, I know. Name joke. But it's also a thing. Yeah. So it was a lot of fun. Anyway. So that was good. And we have lots more stuff coming up for them. We've got the... there's going to be lots more releases coming soon. We're getting one for each of the 4 major factions. So we've had Thenian and we've had Soga. We have Helion and we have Sand Kingdoms coming. Those are coming on the way. It was intense. I can imagine it was. It was your first time out, wasn't it? Do you recommend promote any online sellers in the UK? Off the top of my head, no. But I will sort that. I think it's actually useful if I put together a couple of posts on where you can buy stuff from. It's definitely a thing. But I think you could get it from Wayland if you want to do that. I think it was on there. Yeah, you can get it from Wayland, which is just insane. The prices are just nuts for this stuff. Northern Winds, 132 euros. That's not bad. That's really not bad. The only thing that you need to be aware of with Eldfall, if you choose to go for Sand Kingdoms, so Sand Kingdoms is one of the 4 main factions, their whole shtick is summoning. So they summon things like, these are actually, these gargoyles are summonables for Sand Kingdoms. If you want to do Sand Kingdoms, you have to get summonable miniatures. And you can buy the full set, which has all of the, like, 7 or 8 different, well, no, not that many, 5 or 6 different, no, yeah, 5 or 6 different miniatures, but it's like 100 euros. So it's not as simple as like Soga where you pick up the box and you're done. With Sand Kingdoms, you will need to buy something else on top of that. That's definitely something, so just be aware of that. Machine, yes, you do need to play it soon. So question, if I'm looking to pick up Thenian, can I get the Reinforcements Queen's Blade pack and be ready to play, or should I just go for the faction starter? You absolutely can. I mean, the thing is, so just put that box back and I need it again. So there's one thing that you want to take, and that is a good leader. And leaders have stratagems on the front of their card. So he's a leader. Not every model is a leader. With Thenian, you get the Nightshade in the starter box. Nightmare fuel, blooming. Anyway, you get that one in the starter box. If you get Queen's Blade, you get another miniature that also can be a leader. So it gives you more tactical flexibility because the stratagems are really important. They give you activate at the start of your turn, and it provides a buff until the start of your next turn, where you can keep it going or you can change. So you can change their profile effectively. So if you go, the Thenian starter as it is perfectly beautifully self-contained and will do a job. But if you want to kind of progress, get stuck in, and you know you're going to go with it, I'd get that at the same time. I'd get Queen's Blade at the same time. But then that means you're not going to get the Dragoon. You need to get the Dragoon. You have to get the Dragoon. Hey, Mike! Long time no see, buddy. How are you? No awkward questions in a couple of times. It's very disappointing. Although I haven't been on for a few weeks, and I apologise for that, my friend. I hope you're well. How have you been? A pricey start. Is it 100 euros? It's not that much. But look at the Dragoon as well, because that's effectively what you had is the starter box, then you had the reinforcements, and then you had the current range of reinforcements. So the Dragoon, actually I'm going to... There we go. The Dragoon is that one there. That's the Dragoon. And also this one here. Yep, there we go. That one there. Those two. They're Dragoons. Could have those in your army. Just saying. It's one of the options. Don't have to. You can just not like life. You can just go the boring route forward. And not, you know, do the good stuff. But that's entirely up to you. It's between you and your God. I love the fact it's the one that we want there. There we go. Boop. Stay. Doesn't that look professional as hell? So yeah. Up and back. The Dragoon is really nice. If I could put it in Oni, I definitely would. Can't you put them in as mercenaries? Because they are mercenaries. You should be able to add them in. Surely. That's not me checking, clearly. So that would be wrong. Oh no, they can't take mercs. No, that's disappointing. Oh, but then you get, yeah, that's disappointing. No one is friends with the Oni. We're friends with the Oni. That's important. They're nice. They are nice. Hello, Blazel. Blaze it, Marco. Hello, Blaze it, Marco. Hello, Marco. I was about to ask the same thing. Queen's Blade only had 3, not 4, so I was wondering if they didn't have enough. I wouldn't buy Queen's Blade on its own. Queen's Blade on its own is an expansion. So I would always start with the starter set. Some of the things that are inside the starter set, oh God, that's going to annoy me. What's she called? Hold that thought, because otherwise it's going to really hack me off. Because the Knight Temple Priestess, in my opinion, is really useful. She is very, very useful, Munchkin. And the Nightshade as well. I definitely get those. And they're in the starter box, so definitely get the starter box, or if you only get one starter box, if you can get multiple, the starter box and basically. Hello. Good to see you. Welcome. Hello. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Lovely to see you. It's always good to get the base starter. They're generally good at starting. Yep, absolutely. Working in this cold as weather. How are you, my friend? I am old. This is my celebration for birthdays. For being birthdays. I hung on to the rock for another year. We spun around the outside of the sun, and I'm still here, claws deep into the substrate. So good overall. Thank you, my friend. It's good to see you. How are you? Apart from cold, which is rubbish. No one wants to be cold. That's not fair. Also, you should go for a faction starter. You could go for the solo missions. Yeah, that's absolutely true. I do love the Knight Temple Priestess and the faction starter, but I like everything else. Yep. That's how they get you. That's how they get you. Only, really? We've already got only dice. In gear, hello, welcome. Glad to see you prospering. Nightshade for the win. No, thank you. Thank you for the advice. You're most welcome. What's the rule support like? Regular FAQs, balance changes, etc. Yes, they are on the way. We do get regular FAQs. There's been some FAQs and stuff over the past period. Those are getting integrated currently, the FAQs and the errata. So you have schemes, which are like submissions, and you have equipment, and they are on cards. My cards are elsewhere. They're great. But those decks are getting redone at the moment because they're building in the errata and the FAQs into them. So we do get updates on a semi-regular basis, but at the moment the rules system's pretty tight. When we get new stuff, it's added in. So when the Scholar arrived, so when this little bundle of fluff and happiness turned up with Soga, they haven't turned up yet. Technically, when this turns up and joins the game, it's out. You can pre-order it now. I think it comes in a couple of weeks or a week or so. Then there was a new set of spells that came with him, and they got updated into the spell book because we have a spell book. They got updated there and then. So we get regular updates. Balance changes, they're really on top of that and they're taking active feedback. We're currently playing at 85 points. Now, when I started the game, it was 60 to 65, but the community turned around and said, you know what, actually, we want to push this a little bit. We don't want to be at 3 miniatures, we want to be at 4, because the original discussion was you buy the 4 miniature starter set and you take 3 of those as your party. And the community went, we want more. And they went, okay. They tried it. They played around with it. They tweaked. And they went, yeah, no, it works. Go for 85 points is the new standard. So you've got a really responsive team. There's 8 in the company. And they're really responsive on the boards, on the ball, focused, and really nice people. So, yeah, definitely. Thank you for the advice. You're most welcome in gear. Whoop, whoop. 85 is gold. It is really, really good. So, yeah, it's good. Happy times. But actually, the cards are still the same. So, interesting. 65 was good, but 85, as you say, problem is absolutely solid. You can just do more with it, and I can do stupid stuff like putting 5 bowmen on the board. I wouldn't, but I could. Thank you, Multiverse. Always a pleasure. I'll try and catch you all soon as well, man. Take care and be good to yourself. Take it easy, my friend. Genuine pleasure, and thank you. Oh, actually, it's getting late for me. I'm going to head off in a minute. This problem's going to go in a minute because we tend to do a pumpkin around 11. So yeah, if you haven't already done so, do remember to subscribe to the channel or follow on Twitch. And if you are watching on YouTube and you have got a Twitch account, sounds like you've got some type of disability. If you've got a Twitch, if you've got a Twitch account, then do please pop over and give me a follow over there. And if you have, let's go over YouTube. And if you have a Prime account, then do consider subscribing because it's free for you, and then I get paid for that. So we take money off Jeff Bezos together, which makes me happy. Absolutely. I see all the wind, but not the 2-player sets. What, here? You mean Little Badger? Behind me? My 2-player sets, there's one in the cupboard over there. So if I go here, so that's the boss lady for Sand Kingdoms. There's the boss lady, the Hierophant for Helion League. My Soga's over there, and my Fenian are all locked up over there. What actually happened is I got one at... Oh, constant searching different websites. Right, I'm going to dig into it and see what I can find. I need to start having an answer for you guys on this one, of people that we recommend. So that's the thing I'm going to do. I'm going to get you that. Definitely. The only rule change from last year was the rule that incapacitated people couldn't stand up between rounds. That's true. That was a nice touch. You can now, if you get incapacitated and knocked down and not killed, you can stand yourself up, basically. Which is really nice, because when you've only got 4 miniatures on the board, having one of them down and needing to go over to stand them back up, not so much fun. So yeah, awesome. Right, well, that was nice. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to head off. I've got a whole load of work to do, actually, on this system. Did the Sand Kingdoms find a new home yet? No, I still need to find a new home for my Sand Kingdoms. I don't want to run Sand Kingdoms. I'm going to run Soga, I'm going to run Helion. Mrs. Hydra is playing Thenian, but she's only playing Starter Boxer and Dragoon. She's not doing anything beyond that. So I'm just going to have 3 of those factions. Oh, plus the Oni. And eventually the Goblins too. So I'm going to have 5 of the 6, but I'm not going to have Sand Kingdoms. So the Sand Kingdoms do need to go. If you want them, dude, they're here. You are more than welcome. You are more than welcome. We shall discuss. But anywho, I need to go because tomorrow I've got to chat to these lovely people from Free Company about a whole load of stuff that you guys need to see. They're going to record a lovely video where you're going to see the game in action with these guys. This is going to be a thing that's going to happen. And yeah, a whole load of other stuff. There's some really cool stuff coming. But thank you all so much. And thank you for the birthday wishes, both on Discord and here. It's been really, really kind. It's really, really lovely. And I appreciate it greatly. I have mentioned to them about Frosty. I have said to them about Australia. It's a conversation that has happened already. So that's down to size and sales. So you need to get more people converted and then we can come. That's kind of it. And if they come, then maybe they can drag me too. And then everybody's happy. You'll help. I know you will, Frosty. I believe. You should look at becoming... There's a system, Guildmaster, which is official sort of promotion for the system. You should look at doing that. That's the thing you can apply for. If you want to do that, let me know. Let me know. Blissful Badger, I'm gonna... If you don't hear from me in sort of 24 hours, remind me and I'll find you a source. Absolutely. And Ingira, thank you so much. You've only briefly been here, but lovely to see you as well, my friend. Thank you so much. But you lovely mammals, there is a week ahead of you full of potential. I hope that you seize every single ounce of it and have a glorious one. I certainly intend to. And there's lots more coming from the Dice Gods this week, so look forward to that. I'll be back at Twitch streaming on Thursday afternoon where we'll be doing the Painty Paint. I don't know what I'm going to be painting this week. Because hopefully I'll have done the stuff I need to do for Soga by then. So we might actually be doing some bolt action. I might actually be painting some tanks on Thursday. That might be a thing. Who knows? Dana, absolutely you are more than welcome. If you're not already on Discord, get on Discord and identify yourself and start to be counted. But yeah, have yourself a great week. I certainly intend to. Don't work too hard. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to everyone around you. And I hope you get some hobby time because you deserve it. Now, you'll take care. And yeah, I will see you all later. Bye.